Welcome, and welcome to the Talent Breakout Live, hosted by Zuma Recruitment. Of course, this live session is where we share talent and HR insights for the community. And getting straight into it, we're with Diana today. Diana, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Joseph. I'm good. It's even
Good.
sunny now. It's even sunny. I wake up today in the morning. I'm based in Berlin, and I woke up. It was raining, but now the sun is shining.
Sign, spring is on the way,
It is.
or as it should be.
It is.
As a
Yeah.
quick, I want to give a quick introduction to you, and then we'll get straight into today's topic. To give context to people, you are Global Talent Transformation Senior Director at Criteo,
Yeah.
and you bring over 20 years of experience in talent and HR, and now more recently at leadership and senior leadership level. And today, as you reminded me, your views, the views that you express are your own and not necessarily representative of the business that you work for. And that business is Criteo, of course, the global and industry leading advertising and commerce media platform.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah. You did great.
powerful. Thank
Well
you. Thanks very much. Okay, so today we're talking about rethinking performance reviews. Immediately, one wonders, why do we need to rethink them? What's going wrong with performance reviews in your mind, in your experience?
Yeah. Well, I think that, and what I experience that in today's fast-paced and ever-evolving work environment, traditional performance review processes or even review processes that we do often fall short in fostering employee motivation and satisfaction. That very often our performance management review process focused too heavily on past performance rather than on future development. And we live in always, we used to live in present, in today, and we're always looking forward. So sometimes looking in the past may, well, be misaligned, may bring this misalignment or demotivating even for employees. So it may be perceived as very subjective. And also, sometimes performance review process in some organizations are not aligned with the organizational goals and or individual aspirations, and that also lead to misalignment or disengagement. When I studied this topic, because again, this is something that I've been exploring more for the past several months, I read in some surveys that 1 in 4 companies reported that their performance management systems are effective. Only 1 out of 4. Can you imagine?
Are ineffective.
Effective, that only 1 company out of 4 companies think that their performance review process is effective. And only
Wow.
1/3 of organizations basically indicated that their employees felt that their efforts are evaluated fairly. Only 1/3 of all organizations. Can you imagine? It's very small numbers to my mind. And
Yeah.
what I read in the Gallup report, for instance, that disengagement of employees after performance review costed U.S. companies collectively 1.6 trillion US dollars a year. Again, because of attrition, because of demotivation and less productivity. So I think that this really very hot topic, I mean, in terms of how to find potential for any organizations to be more effective, more profitable, and how to make their employees happier. After all, we
Mm,
we want our people to work and live their life happier rather than struggle
mm,
and suffer.
mm. It's staggering, those statistics,
Yeah.
given that performance reviews are made with the intention of making employees' lives better, which in turn should make the company be on a better direction, a better trajectory. Um, Employee disengagement, employee lack of motivation, and of course, uh,
And
looking
there's
more at past
disalignment
performance.
between the goals and this loss
Yeah.
of purpose, loss of sense. Okay, what I'm doing here, how do I contribute into overall success? I think that for many people, it's really important to feel this needness, to feel this belonging to something successful, bigger.
Yeah. So within that,
Mhm.
if it is fundamentally wrong, what within the performance reviews do you believe is wrong?
Well,
Is
I can give
going
you some just maybe practical examples
okay.
where is something not working well, I would say. Well, sometimes the employee receiving high ratings despite of their poor performance, or vice versa. For example, employee changed the team through the year, and the new manager maybe underappreciate the previous past performance of this employee and rated
Mm,
him lower than he deserved. Or sometimes
mm,
the priority of companies shifted. And again, the
mm.
project the employee worked in the beginning of the year is not that important for the company at the end of the year. So that's when you have evaluating only once a year, you may really have this, you may be tracked in this gap in time when you not provide your timely feedback on the performance, and that again over some months something seems less meaningful or less important, however employee really working hard. So this is one of the examples how I see where performance review is broken. And
Yeah.
also some. Mhm.
Let's stop on that for just a
Okay.
moment then. Once a year performance reviews, it sounds so obvious to me that reviewing an employee's performance in a year where so many things happen, so many projects get delivered, so many considerations for promotion or changing roles, and as you mentioned, moving into a new team, all these moving objects happen within a year, and yet a business would only review performance once. That it's glaringly obvious, right?
Yeah, I believe so, but you will be surprised how many companies still use this 1 year
Mm,
performance review. Okay, some companies also may have even mid-year review, but overall rating or a kind of final
mm,
assessment of your performance still done once a year. And that's what I mean again and again. You may have even mid-year review, but only once a year you said, okay, this is how I evaluate your performance for the previous months. And I think that's what is really, as you said, obviously wrong or maybe not correct in our really fast-paced
mm.
environment we're all living today, where we don't know what will be will be tomorrow. I think things COVID, we always
Yeah.
expect something new tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your first
That
practical
was my first
example. I got
practical,
the
yeah,
sense that you were going to add some more. So,
yeah, I have some more examples. Also, lack of constructive, timely feedback also may cause this disalignment or misalignment or demotivation, because it can again provides a gap in needs for growth, for skill development, or even to change your performance. Once you're not getting your timely feedback, it means that you are not giving our employees opportunity to fix something. If
mm,
it's through the year, we give no feedback to someone, and then on a formal, really, that's what I really think it's what is wrong to make a formal discussion. Hey, today we will talk about your performance, and this is only where I give you feedback that you're doing something wrong or not efficiently.
mm,
But
mm,
basically already it happens when we already have a final discussion. So basically we give no time for employees to change, to be better. We so to say that's what I'm saying when I'm saying that it looks for the person heavily focused on the past, that we like state it as a fact, and an employee has really no opportunity to change the performance for the spirit you're evaluating him for.
mm. When you say lack of timely feedback, are we talking about when the manager gives feedback to the employee, or the employee gets to review the feedback they're given and
I
react
would
to it?
say both, because for me in this process there is two sides. There is a manager and employee, and both should be equally engaged and interested in having such type of conversations. Probably employee should be more proactive because it's his personal professional development and his personal success somehow depends, but at the same time manager should also be equally interested in it. After all, his team is the one that brings him to success, and I think
Mm,
he should be personally interested in the success of his team members and their development, and that they're very well equipped with information, knowledge, I don't know, tools, whatever, to complete this task.
Okay, so that's practical example number two. Are there any more that you'd like to share? I mean, you've given some great context already, but
Yeah, well, I think that these two that we can, well, if you want to dig deeper during the conversations, yeah.
Yeah, we certainly can. We certainly can. Well, let's take those two practical examples. The first one, the frequency of those performance reviews. What would be a better approach? It might sound obvious, but spell it out for us. What would be a better approach,
Yeah.
for both the employee and the business?
Yeah, well, definitely, I think business needs to understand what to choose, what is best, or try and see what is the best for him. I don't think that there is really a single good or great solution that will fit all organization and will solve all the problems. So I don't think that there is any magic pills, but obviously, as you said, or what is like once if you have a once a year, so maybe you need to have more often. So I would say that having more regular discussions, less formal, and even really I think having it's more like a conversational based discussions, like using your
Mm,
one-to-ones. Many companies you have your one-to-one with your manager, with your team. So why not to use this one-to-ones once a month or once in a quarter, just to extend it for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and just to include this topic of professional development, of evaluating the performance into these discussions. And in
mm,
this case, it will be like a natural process. So it will not like be like an artificial, standalone, separate process that we all need to, remember preparing ourselves. It will be very natural both for employees and for manager to have such discussions, and also to keep focus on
mm,
performance and on development. We all
mm.
know that where your focus is, the success is there. So if it's not in the focus, it's very, very unlikely to proceed. So, and I think that if you bring it more into your focus in your daily life or in your daily routine, that may solve
Mm.
some of the issues as well. Well,
Yeah,
first of all, even on alignment.
yeah. It would allow the employee to better connect with it if it's an informal, regular conversation. It's not taboo. It's not this big, scary, different idea. This is something that we're focused on all the time. Bettering you, and also helping you better the team and better the organization. Okay, so frequent, less formal. Bring
Less
it into
formal, yeah.
your
And
one-to-ones.
maybe also using some more like a coaching technique, driving this or leading these conversations without really trying to put some labels or really defining something like a final sum, like really like more like a coaching, developing continuous discussions. So in this case, as you said, I absolutely love what you say, that it will take this fear of employees to speak up, to be open, to be more, how to say, relaxed, but at the same time really express what they think or what they need in order to progress, to
Mm.
succeed. After all, I believe everyone comes to work to do something meaningful rather than just to fail.
It also strikes me that by making it more natural and informal, and more natural and informal, that the employee, if they are having challenges in reaching that high performance expectation, they're with their manager, or in this case, their coach, and they can work on those improvements together, rather than it just being a you problem, you the employee.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I like the way you put it, because exactly that's very often what employees need is support from their managers, just to talk through, okay, I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. And instead of saying, hey, it's your problem. Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Okay, let's think together how you can avoid this. What can help you to go through this problem? Okay, what other colleagues, I don't know, informations, tools, help, support you may need? And this, it will move forward rather than looking in the past saying, hey, you should have done this, but you failed, or you
Mm,
didn't manage to establish enough relationship with your colleagues. And
mm,
that's great to, it's again, it's great to analyze the past and to learn from the past. But what I personally strongly disagree is just to name or to label and to find who is responsible for this. I always, well, teaching all leaders and employees, okay, what lessons have we learned? How can we avoid making these mistakes in the future? Yeah, they agree
mm,
with me, I hope. And not disagree. And again, okay, so how can we convert it? Okay, so what can we do to avoid it? Okay, so what can we do now to fix it? So you really trying to focus on finding a solution rather than finding whom to blame or why we failed.
Excellent. Okay. I'm just conscious that there's a hammering in the background. I hope you're not picking up too much of that.
It's probably
The
someone
other
really
point,
disagree very often. It's those
yeah,
who likes the traditional performance who said no.
yeah. Or maybe they're in agreement and protest. Lack of timely feedback.
Mhm.
Tell me what would be a better approach to this.
Well, again, I think
How
it's
should they
great
approach
to
feedback?
find some. Yeah, I think it's great to use modern technology again to facilitate this real-time feedback. We're all on social media, right? And we all, whenever we post something, we expect someone immediately give some reactions, either like, dislike, a comment, etc. So why not to use the same approach in life? And I know that many organizations already implement this continuous feedback, because again, it helps everyone immediately think of improvement. Whenever you receive even a negative feedback, for instance, there is an opportunity for you to say, okay, what might be wrong, or why this what you've done created such a negative attitude. So maybe you need to think differently. So I think that timely feedback really helps you to improve and to move forward and to gain for more efficiency. And if you in organizations don't have a very user-friendly tool, or make it again like a very formal form, you need to go, you need to fill different lots of fields, you need to click a lot of buttons to go to the submit thing, then you make the whole process so difficult that people, even if
Painful.
even if they want to give a feedback, they oh my God, I will spend 15 minutes on trying to write it down. So probably I will skip of giving it.
Yeah. Also, it's not connected with the human again when it's such an arduous and long process and a more formal, official process. So tech tools, any recommendations as to best fit tools for organizations to use for performance reviews? I don't want to focus too much on the tech tools because I want to go into other topics, but any
So
quick
again, I will not
recommendations?
name any tech tools. Again, there are lots of different, very good, nice, flexible platform company you can choose to use feedback. But I think just whenever you implement any tool you have, even HRS system you have right now in the organization, just look at it, try to look at it from a product perspective, from a customer perspective. Okay, how much does it help your employees to use it efficiently? How easy it is to approach this bottom, which is continuous feedback where they can provide. But I think this is a tool. I think the core behind it is more like a cultural piece.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your normal process of communicating, and how really you are in the organization used to provide feedback timely, not written, but even oral one. How often you find time to sit, to reflect, to discuss, to share, to request feedback. I think this is something that really company needs to think, to take into considerations whenever they think of implementing this continuous feedback, because it's a culture. It's again, tool is a tool, but again, tool will not solve your problem if you still have a culture of not giving you feedback at any time or requesting this feedback at any time, or you are afraid to put it in written because you feel this psychological not safety, so to say, because there are lots of elements that may influence why you don't have a continuous feedback in your organization. So again, I would start with really analyzing what culture you have, how you communicate with each other, what are the processes for, again, communication, collaborations between managers, employees, and cross-functional. And also, continuous feedback, to my mind, also will encourage to have this closer cross-functional collaboration, which is, again, very important in a modern life. Very few companies where teams can work in a silo. They all required some collaborations because, again, we tend to have more expertise teams where they're experts in some areas. But again, this area cannot succeed without other areas supporting or contributing to them. So it's very important to establish these cross-functional horizontal lines to keep everyone together and really to push and increase efficiency. And this feedback can help, again, I believe.
Okay, super. So recognize that team members these days are often cross-functional. So we want to be collaborating with other team members or leaders who would have had interaction with your team member, and that's probably another topic altogether. How would they go about gathering that feedback and presenting that back to the employee? As a quick note on continuous feedback, how about preparing employees for performance reviews? Let's say you've set the performance reviews to be monthly. How could we best prepare them? And do you think it's a good idea to prepare team members for that so they know what's coming? They know whether the news is good or constructive.
Well, that's a very good question. And again, I think it's really important in the beginning, but then once it's natural, it will be like when you're preparing the same way as you're preparing for your daily life. Okay, so whenever you have in the beginning of the day, okay, you know what to do, you know what to expect, you plan something. So the idea is really to make it the same natural. What can help here? I think that implementation of different goal settings frameworks, I don't know, like OKRs or something. So you have some clear set of goals that cut into the same periods as you have these discussions, and really setting some milestones of what achievement you expect from employees, and collaborate again the expectations between employee and manager, that they are all aware what results they want to have, and again set some clear indicators or metrics around it. Also the same for the development, okay, knowing what might be in the future, what challenges or what opportunities the company may have, you can prepare employee, think about their professional development, again, based on his individual aspirations. And that's why I think, again, coaching approach can help it here, because you will ask employee, okay, what do you really want? Very often we try to push people for promotions, mostly for the sake of money. And this is basically the limitations, which I don't know how to avoid, to be honest. This budget constraints we all have. And in many cases, it may be off the topic, but in many cases, we invented this rating just to fit the budget, let's be honest. But it doesn't help us with employee engagement and doesn't help us with employee development.
No. Well, it also assumes that everyone's motivated by money, which we understand they're not.
Again, I would say that money plays definitely a big role, but again, not everyone. The only motivations for many people, not always money. But yes, when you don't have your inner motivations for professional or your personal fulfillment, then definitely money comes to the first place and say, hey, if I'm not getting satisfaction, at least let's pay me money, like get me something. So coming back yesterday, so I think that having some framework, goal setting framework, and discussion this framework, and also whenever you have your discussion about the goals and achievement of these goals, include some topics of your development. Okay, what helped you to achieve this? What skills you are missing? What find you difficult? Again, it's like a kind of coaching techniques, but also that may help people, also employee and manager, to think, okay, oh, maybe I need to learn this, or maybe I need to learn that. And that's why, to my opinion, most of HR focus should be around preparing managers or leaders to conduct and to have such type of conversations, and to be truly open to listen and to embrace and to accept whatever employee says.
Okay, this leads to a good point. We've spoken about the employee and we've spoken about their manager. And of course, performance reviews are an HR process or belong in with HR. I'm wondering, to what extent should talent leadership be part of performance review planning and put even the sessions, if at all?
Well, they definitely should be, I think, a part of these discussions. And what I think we need to rethink maybe and to try that, don't make HR responsible for this process. It may set HR may set some rules, some guidance, but do not make it like initiate the start of the campaign. That's what many companies have. Okay, so HR pulls some button and everyone goes into performance review cycles. Because again, I think HR is not the one who always in the room with manager and employees. I think, again, HR can set some rules. But talents leaders, they definitely should lead by example. They should actively participate in performance review process. They should, again, spend some time explaining and engaging people and demonstrating a commitment to employees' development. And they should definitely be an advocate for a culture of this continuous feedback and growth mindset.
Yeah, I think there might also be a branding issue with performance reviews. If it's seemed as a talent or HR area, there's a further disconnect for the employee. Whereas if it's back with the team and leadership of the team, it's much more closer to what I want as an employee and the direction that I'm going on. Okay.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I think that it's time to really give back this accountability for people management, for people development back to leaders, rather than just HR as an experts. We as an experts can help leaders to become the same experts in this area, to support them, to be there for them whenever they need it. But again,
Okay. What are the practical things that talent people can do now and this year to help improve performance reviews?
well, first of all, I think be open to experiment new things in performance review. Really review your performance review, can collect some feedback from managers, employees, and prioritize your employee development and engagement over really this evaluation ratings, metrics, whatever you have in the organization. And continuously seek for feedback from employees, really to and managers, really to understand what is working, what is not working, and instead of just making slight adjustments or upgrade of current processes, try to be kind of a little bit more bold and to rethink, okay, but what really we are focusing here? Are we really focusing on improving the process, or we are really focusing, as I said, on employee development, engagement, and company success and efficiency? And that may really, like, don't jump with the solutions. Use some design thinking techniques. Create your audience. Think about who is your audience and what is the requirements, what this audience requires, and think about some solutions that might be. So that would be my practical advice. I don't know how practical, but
No, I like it. I think they are practical. I think it's also about a philosophy and approach to working together. Okay, super. I'm conscious of time and we're almost up.
yeah.
I
Me too.
think even focusing on those two areas of timely feedback, turning it into future, or turning performance reviews into helping future planning, and addressing the frequency and even the form of performance reviews will be helpful. As we evolve and as us talent people keep an open mind, what do you see as the future of this area? How will performance reviews evolve, especially in this highly tech-enabled world we operate in?
Well, I think that the future of performance reviews may involve more emphasis on real-time feedback again, on AI-driven performance analytics, and some more personalized development plans. I think we need to be more open to use some AI capacity opportunities to think how we can make it more efficient, easier, and again, user-friendly, that managers can spend and employees can spend more on discussions or on the core of the topic, focuses more rather than really on processes, forms, I don't know, structure and tools. And also, I think it's great to integrate performance review data into other HR processes like talent acquisitions, learning development, compensation. I even heard recently a very interesting trend that now the trend is going from merit increase to more like have a flat salary, base salary equal to everyone, but the differentiation between performance appreciates through bonuses, different types. So you basically start paying different type of bonuses, just recognizing the employee's contribution. That's
Interesting.
what I heard. It's very. I thought it's interesting and might can be looked into.
Yeah, I'd be keen to see what the impact of doing something like that is, because it's typical in sales environments that you'd have flat structures across the board, but with performance-based bonuses, and I can see how it marries up with performance reviews. But interesting observations about the future, particularly with AI enablement and what were the other? Real-time feedback.
Real-time
I've
feedback
got
and
to read
also
my own
performance
writing now.
analytics and data, and also personalized development plans. Yeah.
Super, super. Diana, I understand that you also consult as a talent professional. Where can people find you and more information about what you're doing across the talent community?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn for sure. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. I'm planning to launch my own website where you have more information about myself, my expertise, and the areas. Again, as you said, yes, I'm more like a coach right now as a strengths-based coach, individual and plus teams ones, but also I'm a professional HR, so with a great experience for companies to scale. So my passion is about transformation and scaling.
Interesting. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Yeah.
LinkedIn, and your own website coming soon. And the final point about coaching being involved in performance reviews, and for talent and HR people and managers to keep an open mind and evolve as performance reviews evolve. Excellent. Thanks very much for today, Diana.
Thanks for having me today.
And yeah, we shall speak again soon.
Yeah, we will. Good luck, everyone.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.